we're saying to young people through doing events like tonight, they don't want to go to boring meetings. They don't want to have a look at what the standing orders say in the minutes of the last meeting. Let's all agree then. What they want to do is put the social element into their working lives, into the trade union movement, and actually turn around and say, do you know what? There is a movement out there for workers like us.
The people that I went and recruited to the Picture House strike over the last year, the people that, you know, when I went into a Picture House cinema, talked to people across the bar, talked to people across the, you know, the popcorn desk, the vast majority of them had never been in a trade union before. Very few of them knew what a trade union was. But if you talk to them, you know, what about your shared experiences of what it's like to work in that environment, what it's like to work in low-paid, immiserating work, they're very responsive, and I think Picture House shows that. And likewise, you know, McDonald's workers, you know, after they've got their first sort of wave of press, thousands of McDonald's workers got in touch, and a lot of them were young people.
It's about relevance. We have to make ourselves relevant, and we have to make ourselves attractive to young people to think, hey, that's a really cool thing to be involved with, and I want to stay involved with. And since I've been working as the regional organiser for the MU, you know, we've seen the average age of our regional committee and our activists drop quite considerably, and I want to see more of that. You know, we've got 4 or 5 20-somethings on our regional committee now, and that's the future, really. So it's engaging and relevant. Really.
I mean, the main thing is we've got lots of young people with lots of big issues about low pay, insecurity at work, fixed-term contracts, and even outside of work, people can't afford to leave home, can't get their own house, rent is really expensive. But people aren't necessarily naturally joining trade unions, and I think that's because really a lot of young people have never heard of a trade union, don't know much about it, and we've got to put on events like this that attract young people, so nice and relaxed, people can come and listen to a bit of music, hear a comedian, but then talk to other young people who are actually doing something about the problems that they've got. So that, you know, we've heard about the Ritzy dispute, who are really taking on low pay. So yeah, it's great. It's absolutely the sort of thing that we need to be doing.
About talking about the issues which matter to young members, and that's you know, and that's a great diversity of issues. So I think that's how we involve young members. We make a trade union relevant to them, and not only relevant to people of older ages for whom it has been relevant to in the past.
Events are really worthwhile just for getting the young people involved in something that's important to us. So we see this at work every day. To get the same sort of people together is really good. You know, and to just encourage young people to actually get involved in a union and improve their own lives at the end of the day rather than anyone else's.
I thought it was different. We made a change from the usual stale, if you like, trade union format at the top table, usually with old white men speaking on my lectern on well-prepared speeches. I think it was a bit refreshing to see so many young people in the audience, obviously come along to find out what trade unions can do for young workers. I think what was inspiring was the stories we heard from the McDonald's workers and from the Ritzy Cinema workers, Cineworld. You know, it was clearly at the receiving end of the worst excesses of what's going on in society today and the attitude to workers in general. We're seeing people on £5 an hour, £7 an hour, people having to live on sofas because they can't rent for their own places to live. And you know, somehow this has got to stop. And you know, their strikes, their actions, I think should stand as an inspiration to other young workers, so they should get involved in trade unions and follow their lead.
We can't tackle new problems in an old way, I don't think. I think we've got to come to stuff like this, show that it's not just about in the workplace as such. We've got to change the political landscape as well to make the change in work more appropriate, or to make the change in work happen. And vice versa, we've got to make changes at work and show that we're the influence, we're the trade unions, we're the workers, and that we've got a say in how things are run.
There's a need for young workers to talk to young workers and not just trot out the same old trade union style, if you like, the same old trade union leaders. It's for young people to come and give their experiences of the trade union, their experience of what's happening in work and how it's affecting them in society. And I think if they hear from their peers what's happening, that's a better message than someone coming down, if you like, from on high and lecturing them about why they need to be in a trade union. Real lived experiences that are shared.
It was really well attended, really lively, very relaxed. Everyone seemed to feel very free to be able to talk.
It was probably one of the most chilled out events I've spoken at, to be honest. It's usually very formal, so it was really nice. Yeah, we have music to start with, music to end with, and the young turnout was the most impressive I've ever seen. So yeah.
Like first got told to me, I was outside of work. They spoke to me about a union. Instantly, I thought, nah, I don't like the idea. It's not my cup of tea. And then they invited me to one of the meetings. And from there, I started learning new things. I got invited on my first ever trip to London. Met some amazing people, and from there, things worked out.
We need the trade union movement in order to allow us to organise around that agenda to make sure that young workers are treated right at work, and there was great jobs for young workers across the country and across the Midlands, and that's what tonight's all about.
You know, if we're talking about how to get young people engaged, then events like this, social events, I know in Prospect we've ran nights out, bowling nights, pub quiz. All we're trying to do really is get people together to talk about their issues. And you know, if you organise a meeting at lunchtime, chances are people might not turn up. But if you go around the pub after work, have a coffee at lunchtime, people are more likely to come. It's just about breaking those barriers down.
It doesn't require any sort of like special tricks. It requires talking to people honestly about what it means to be a young person living in 21st century Britain, where pay is low, where contracts are precarious, and trying to persuade them that they can do something about that. And I think that's our responsibility as trade unionists, that's our responsibility as organisers, is to agitate and to empower people and to make people feel like it is possible to change things and it's possible to make things better. And if you sort of get that message across clearly enough, people do join and people are interested because they know they're exploited and they want to see change happen.